Welcome into Doran Park on a perfect Wednesday night for baseball here in Bourne, Massachusetts. We are just about set to get going for an East versus West matchup between the Harwich Mariners and the hometown Bourne Braves. It's going to be a good one as just six games remain in the regular season, including tonight, and those 12 points could be the difference as both teams are trying to clinch a playoff berth and possibly home field advantage. Hi everybody and welcome into the broadcast booth. My name is Devin Dobek and I'm joined by my partner Tim Foley. Tim, the East is so tight right now, but the Mariners are red hot. What needs to happen tonight to improve their season high win streak from 4 to 5 games and try to create some breathing room at the 2 seed?
Well, I think you want to get a bit of a better performance out of your starting pitcher here tonight. Of course, Zane Probst's a guy you typically rely on to give you a good showing, be it in a start or in a relief outing. Wasn't his night last night. Luckily for him, the offense bailed him out. I think you can expect the offense largely to stay intact, considering it's largely the exact same lineup, but you want to see the starting pitcher get off to a better start here tonight and Gage Zeal.
Let's meet the Harwich Mariners before we get going here. Leading off the center fielder, Ethan O'Donnell. Batting second, the right fielder, Tommy Seidel. Batting third, the first baseman, Joe Vetrano. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Brock Wilkin. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Hunter Stokely. As the first pitch is flied way out to deep center field. Going back is Horvath, and he's got it. A few feet in front of the fence out there in dead center field, 395, and O'Donnell almost got away with the one there. To complete the lineup for you, batting sixth, the shortstop, Kalai Harrison. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Will Hammeter. Batting eighth, the catcher, Matt Gassetti. And batting ninth, the second baseman, David Smith. It'll be the second game without Nick Goodwin for these Harwich Mariners. Second game he's missed all season. As Seidel looks at a strike, and it's 0-1 from the pitcher, and Rob Adams. He comes in with a 1-0 record, 7.20 ERA. This will be his fourth appearance and first start as Seidel rips a single up the middle. And that will be the first hit of the ball game. He is in business.
Yeah, Harwich aggressive early here. Just 3 pitches so far from the starter here for Bourne. And
first
so
baseman, number 30,
they're off and running. O'Donnell really pieced that first pitch well in that first at-bat. Just hung it up long enough for center fielder and Harvath to be able to make the catch. But even still, Harwich aggressive. They are hunting early.
5 innings pitched for Adams this season. He has a 6 strikeout to 4 walk ratio and has allowed 6 hits, make it 7 now. As first pitch to Vetrano runs inside, it's 1-0.
And you know, I'm not surprised really to see Harwich swinging early on here. They've scored in the first inning in each of their past 4 ball games. It's been impressive to see what this team's been able to do early in games when they struggled early in the season to find anything early on.
Vetrano fouls that one over towards the Bourne dugout and evens it up at 1-1. We were expecting to see Seth Keener out of Wake Forest go tonight, the all-star pitcher for the Bourne Braves, but a last-minute scratch from their lineup. And now Rob Adams makes his first start for the Bourne Braves. It's 1-1 count to the Boston College power hitter, as Seidel going to have to retreat backwards. Joe had the 3-walk game last night in the win against Falmouth. He's the only active Mariner with 3 walks this season. The other being Chris Newell, who of course was drafted by the LA Dodgers and now off to bigger and better things. 1-1. Vetrano fouls it back towards Upper Cape Tech here. It actually hits the building and comes back into the tiered seating area, so it'll be 1-2.
Yeah, impressive that he was able to bang it right off of that wall. It's pretty far back.
It's the third matchup between the two teams. They haven't met since June 29th, which was a 7-6 Braves walk-off win here at Doran Park. 1-2. Breaking ball is in there for strike 3. Froze Vetrano looking, and there's 2 away. Let's take a look at the Bourne Braves defense. They are tied for 6th in the Cape Cod Baseball League with 39 errors and a .972 fielding percentage. In the outfield, Evan Slight is in left, Mac Horvath in center, Carson Jones in right. Ryan Enos is at third, John Peck at short, Bryce Eblin at second, Chris Brito at first, with Tomas Frick doing the catching for Rob Adams. Brock Wilkins stands in. He became the 5th Mariner this season to have a 3-hit game last night against Falmouth. Was fantastic.
Yeah, both he and Hamiter with those 3-hit games. Really exciting to watch. Brock, I think you can expect that from him. Of course, his first game of the season with 3 hits, but it was a lot of fun to watch Hamiter last night.
Seidel with not a huge lead off of first base, but always a threat to go. He dances off here, and the pitch to Wilkin is fouled back towards the scout area, and it's 0-1.
And you mentioned the starting defense here tonight for the Braves. One of the big things that Harwich has to be grateful for is the fact that Josh Moylan is not in the lineup here tonight. He's not in defensively. He is available as a pinch hitter, but he was a terror. Had 5 RBI in that walk-off win, including the game-winning ground rule double to put Bourne ahead and give him the win.
And he was really struggling at the time when he came up to the plate in that game. Not hitting for very great average, had just been added to the Braves roster, but really broke out against the Mariners. As Seidel going to be caught in a rundown here. The throw over to second is going to be in time. So he is caught trying to steal a base, and that will be the minimum for Rob Adams. No runs on 1 hit, and they leave nobody on. We head to the home half of the first, 0-0 here on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Game balls for tonight's game.
Welcome back, Devin Doback, Tim Foley here at Doran Park, just over the bridge in Bourne, Massachusetts. And let's meet Scott Landers, starting 9 for the Bourne Braves. Leading off the second baseman, Bryce Eblin. Batting second, the center fielder, Mac Horvath. Batting third, the designated hitter, Matt Shaw. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, Evan Slight. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Chris Brito. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Carson Jones. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Ryan Enos. Batting eighth, the shortstop, John Peck. And batting ninth, the catcher, Tomas Frick. Bryce Eblin will climb in, member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And speaking of which, it is official. Zane Probst has officially announced via Twitter that he will be transferring to Alabama this upcoming spring. So congratulations to Zane Probst, who went last night for the Harwich Mariners. As this is lifted out to deep left field, going back is Hamiter, a fellow Crimson Tide, and he puts out his teammate for out number 1. And let's meet the Harwich defense here. They are tied for 6th in the league with Bourne, 36 errors and a .972 fielding percentage. In the outfield, Will Hamiter's in left, Ethan O'Donnell's in center, and Tommy Seidel's in right. In the infield, Brock Wilkins at third, Kalai Harrison's the shortstop, David Smith's at second with Joe Vetrano at first, and Matt Gassetti behind the dish for Gage Zeal, the starting pitcher. As the first pitch to Mac Horvath is cut on and missed. Gage Zeal making his 3rd start for the M's this season, 7th appearance. Comes in with a 1-0 record and a 3.00 ERA. He's gone 18 complete innings, struck out 24 to just 5 walks, and allowed 13 hits. Tim, not a lot of bad to be said about Gage Zeal and the work he's put in for Harwich this season.
Yeah, he's the guy who's earned one of these starting roles after coming into the season as a reliever. You'll see that happen really across the league. Every single team's always going to have a guy or two who's going to make that transition from a reliever to a starter. And so for Harwich, it's been Zeal, and he's been great. He's been giving you great stuff all season long, and so you're expecting to get the same out of him tonight that you've been getting from him all year.
2-1 pitch is in there on the outside corner to make it 2-2 to Mac Horvath, who comes in hitting .280. He's 14 for 50. He does have the 4 homers and 9 RBIs. A lot of power in this Bourne lineup. 23 homers as a ball club for them this season. 2-2 is fought off and spoiled off the brick wall right in front of our booth here. And we'll stay at 2-2. Matt Shaw, the designated hitter, on deck. He is due up in the inning. Zeal rocks and delivers. Swung on a miss. The breaking ball got him. First strikeout for Gage Zeal of the day. And there's now 2 away.
Designated hitter, number 24.
You'll have to see this from Zeal, getting going early on,
Shaw.
able to strike a guy out and get himself to a point where there's now 2 gone in the inning.
Brings up Matt Shaw, who is arguably in the conversation for MVP this season. He's tied for the league lead in hits with 44. He also is leading the league in slugging at .613, average at .370, and OPS at 1.037 amongst qualifying batters. He has been a threat to all defenses and pitchers. As 1-0 pitch to him is on the outside corner to make it 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough good things about Matt Shaw, a guy who's hit for the cycle this season. I mean, that says everything you need to know about a guy who's been having himself a fun summer.
Lines this one into right field. That'll be the first hit for the Bourne Braves. Matt Shaw checks in at first base, and to your point, the last time here on the 29th in that 7-6 walk-off win, Matt Shaw was relatively quiet, had just the 1 walk, went 0 for 4 other than that, so looking forward to watching what could be the Cape Cod Baseball League MVP go to work here, and starts off with a single here in the first inning. He is the first of 3 straight All-Stars in this Bourne lineup. Evan Slight, the cleanup hitter, climbs in now. He's hitting, he's hitting .344 this season across 96 at-bats. Chris Brito on deck, another All-Star. Shaw takes a lead off first, and the pitch from Zeal is in there to even up the count at 1. Slight, a native of Framingham, Massachusetts, so playing in his home state here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and it has fared him well.
Yeah, remember last time the Braves were over at White House Field, there was a large crowd specifically for Slight.
As this is chopped over to second base, it's going to be charged by Harrison, and he makes the play. Kalai Harrison charged the ball. It was on the right side of the infield grass, and if it weren't for him, that might have been an infield hit. So the Mariners get out of the jam and strand 1. We head to the second inning, still 0-0. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Brock Wilkin had his AB postponed in the first inning after Tommy Seidel was caught stealing. So he'll get to lead off the second inning for the Mariners here, followed by Hunter Stokely and Kalai Harrison. Brock missed a home run by about 5 feet last night at Gov Fuller Field, hit it off the top of the wall in deep left center field. That 3-hit game was something he desperately needed. I mean, he was in a slump for a bit there, Tim, but now after last night, able to raise his average back up to 233, as it was just hovering about around 200 at the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's been having a good time ever since returning from the All-Star break. Had a 2-hit game back on Monday, single and a home run, and then the 3-hit game last night. So certainly in need of some more offense from him, and Harwich has been getting just that.
It's a 1-1 count. Adams delivers and foul tipped into the mitt to make it 1-2. The Braves in their home whites. It says Braves across the front in red, as well as their numbers. Red sleeves for those that are choosing to wear them. White pants, red cleats, red hats with blue brims. Mariners in their road blues say Harwich on them, as Wilkin fouls that one off. Say Harwich in red with red numbers all trimmed in white. Gray pants, blue socks with red, and red batting helmets for the time being. Still a 1-2 count here to the reigning CCBL MVP. This misses outside, makes it 2-2. Wilkins got 12 RBI on the season. He's also walked 15 times. That leads the Harwich Mariners. The pitch. That one is swung on and missed. Brock Wilkin goes down on strikes. Second strikeout for Rob Adams, and second in a row for that matter.
Out of North Carolina, Hunter Stokely.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking good, settling in here. He was pieced for some contact back in the top of the first. Of course, Seidel had a single, and then it was a very loud out number 1 from Ethan O'Donnell, who hit one deep out to center field, but he's done a nice job settling in since.
5 Mariners had multi-hit games last night. They had 15 hits. That is their season high. It was fantastic, a slugfest. 2 All-Stars took the mound for their respective clubs, and Zane Probst allowed the most hits by a Mariner in an outing. And on the other side, Phil Abner allowed the most hits to the Mariners. There was 25 hits in the ball game, also a season high mark. As it's 1-2 to Hunter Stokely.
Yeah, I mean, most hits combined, of course, as you said. Then the 15, also just the highest hit total specifically for Harwich in a game all season long.
It's actually 26 total hits. As Stokely watches this one miss outside. But Ethan O'Donnell, Tommy Seidel, and David Smith all had 2-hit games, while Brock Wilkin and Will Hamner had 3-hit games. And Cam Air picked up his first win of the season in relief. So, great team win for the Mariners. As that one on the outside corner, Stokely disagrees. He is rung up, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, great start so far here for Bourne on the mound. You have to like what you're getting here against a Harwich offense that proved a lot last night at the plate.
Kalai Harrison also had a hit last night, did strike out 3 times as well. We'll see what he's up for tonight. He bats 6th. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch from Adams is in there for a strike. Umpires tonight. Behind the plate, Rich Capitelli. At first base, Alan Liberdoni. And at third base, Joe Labella. 0-1. This is down at the shoelaces, and it's 1-1. Will Hamner on deck. That's if Kalai Harrison can extend the inning here. It's been 2 up, 2 down for Rob Adams thus far. 2-1 count now to the new NC State Wolfpack member. Mostly sunny skies here. A few more clouds rolling in than at first pitch. Windy as well. 2-2 count to Kalai Harrison, but nice temperature, not too hot. Nice breeze rolling through, and picturesque night for baseball here at Bourne Park.
Yeah, weather's been fantastic as of late. Been a bit hot, but you know, I know personally I like the heat, so I've had no complaints.
As 2-2 misses outside to make it 3-2. Harrison starting at shortstop. Him and David Smith's workload, of course, gonna really be upping with Nick Goodwin's absence. As Harrison grounds this one up the middle and into center field for a 2-out base hit. So despite the full count, Harrison with a good swing with 2 strikes on him, and he picks up hit number 1 for himself here in the second.
So important is it to be able to still provide offense at an at-bat whenever you have 2 strikes against you. So a very nice job done by Harrison to be able to bat that one back up the middle and extend the inning here. Make Adams continue to work.
Here's Will Hambeter, and talk about a guy who is hot. He had just 2 hits through his first 20-plus at-bats as a Mariner after being cut by the YD Red Sox. Now he stands in 10 for 43 as Harrison is picked off of first base. So how about that? Despite the Mariners having a hit in both innings, the minimum has been faced for Rob Adams as he has gotten rid of the runners on the base paths. So we head to the home half of the second, still 0-0. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Out of Rutgers, Christopher Brito.
Chris Brito climbs in. First baseman for the Bourne Braves. And he'll start things off against Gage Zeal, who was able to strand Shaw in the top, or the bottom of the first rather. Still a scoreless ball game. It's a 1-0 count now to Brito. Zeal into the windup and the pitch. This is chopped slowly over to Harrison at shortstop, and a really high bounce, and it skips off the top of his glove and into center field. Wow, that's one of those things you don't see every day, and why you take for granted playing at White House Field for all your home games.
Right fielder, number 25.
Just an unfortunate hop there, and if you're Harwich, you just got to move past it, try to take care of this next batter. Still have a double play available to you here with a man on first.
Tough break for the shortstop. They will credit Brito with a hit there. So that's the second hit for the Braves. Now Carson Jones digs in, hitting just 190 on the season, does have a home run, and 9 runs batted in. It's an 0-1 count from Gage Zeal to start here. He's thrown 16 pitches, 11 have been strikes. Seems to have his control dialed, just really the one hard hit from Matt Shaw. As the 0-1 is cut on a miss, had to drop down to the knees was Matt Gassetti. So it'll be 0-2. This game is littered with Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, just in the lineup for Harwich is 3, and then you got Zane Probst, who pitched last night. Will Hamiter in left, Tommy Seidel in right, and Matt Gassetti behind the plate also. As this one gets by Gassetti, and down to second goes Brito. Took a hard bounce off that brick wall, but no time for a play for Gassetti.
Yeah, it was just off to the side enough that he had to burn a few seconds coming over to actually pick it up. But you will see that here tonight, I promise you, where a ball's going to come hot enough off the backstop right back to the catcher, and they're going to have a good chance down at second if a runner goes.
It's now going to be a 2-2 count to Jones. Jones, a native of Glen Allen, Virginia. And the pitch. This is fought into the Bourne dugout. I'll be shocked if no one got hit there. Diving out of the way was Tomas Frick. Jared Soltolamakia, one of the assistant coaches for Bourne, it was tagged for him, and he did not flinch.
Yeah, might have nodded his head out of the way one way or another, but yeah, really did not move all too much.
2-2, just misses outside, makes it 3-2. Jones has worked himself all the way back from being down 0-2 in the count. On deck, Ryan Enos, the third baseman. Zeal likes the sign from Gassetti. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball is ripped but foul over towards the construction area, way into the woods. A line shot there, but way ahead of the breaking ball was Carson Jones. Braves a slight edge in hitting in this matchup, batting .237 as a lineup compared to just the .221 for Harwich. This is fought off once again back towards Upper Cape Tech. It will take a bounce and hit the building. We'll stay at 3-2.
Bourne putting some good pressure on Zeal right now. You get to move the man down to second base, still nobody gone, and it's been a long at-bat here for Carson Jones.
This will be the 9th pitch of the AB. Here it is. And this is slowly rolled over to Wilkin at third. He looks the runner back and goes to first for a nice 5-3 putout, and no advancement from Chris Brito. Not the biggest speedster, but Wilkin did his job.
Third baseman, number 13.
His bag had been abandoned momentarily, but makes the play, and there's one gone with no movement.
Yeah, sometimes those slow rollers
number 9 out of East Tennessee State,
can be tricky
Ryan
ones.
Enos.
But it's a nice job done by Wilkin as he's able to charge right in and get it on to first in time.
Ryan Enos will dig in, hitting .200 on the season. That's just across 15 ABs. 3 for 15, scored a run, no RBIs yet. He's got an opportunity with Brito on second. And first pitch to him is caught on and missed. He has not punched out yet, which is pretty good considering he just was added to the roster. John Peck out of Pepperdine awaits on deck. Here comes the 0-1 from Zeal. Breaking ball is flared into foul territory. Going over is Gassetti, and he can't get it. It was in an awkward spot about a foot away from the fencing around the Mariner dugout, and Gassetti, of course, not wanting to barrel into that and hurt himself, made the slide, but just came up a little short, so it'll be 0-2.
Yeah, I think what was tough, too, is you also had big 6'4" Joe Vitrano charging at you as well, so there was a lot going on there making it tough for Gassetti to try to come down with it.
Joe Vitrano, the starter for the East at first base. He's in there tonight. Hunter Stokely played first base last night. The two are pretty interchangeable at the position and designated hitter. Enos going to have to shorten up here. He's behind 0-2. Zeal trying to put him away. And the pitch. This is rolled over towards foul territory by the fencing there, and it will stay at 0-2.
Short fence here at Bourne Park, all around the outfield. See plenty of one-hoppers that end up going over for ground rule doubles.
Zeal already up to 27 pitches through just an inning and a third. A lot thanks to that Carson Jones at bat that went 9 pitches. As this is fought off once again, so Ryan Enos now we'll see a 5th pitch from Gage Zeal despite being down 0-2. Sun starting to get covered by the clouds here and diving behind the new construction behind the press box here. As this is cut on a miss, a nasty breaking ball that fell off the table on the outside corner. Down goes Enos, and for Gage Zeal, that's strikeout number 2.
16 out of Pepperdine.
Yeah, nice job done here by Zeal, being able to settle back in after allowing Brito, the leadoff man, to get on and then advance down a second with nobody gone. He's handled the last 2 batters now, and he's got a chance to wrap up this inning without letting anything get across.
John Peck digs in. He's had 105 ABs for the Braves, but not the best showing. Just 21 hits. That's good for a 200 batting average. Has also punched out 38 times. Not a small amount. He's cashed in for 10 RBIs and 11 runs, though. Zeal trying to get out of the inning with no harm done. Brito's secondary is big. Not going anywhere. His first pitch is fouled off by Peck for strike 1. Tomas Frick, the 9-hitter, is on deck. Still in the shin guards. Zeal trying to make sure he stays in them and heads back out to the field after Peck's at bat. Swings and misses at another great breaking ball. That's got to be one of the best pitches on this Mariners staff. His breaking ball, late moving, and then just when you think it's going to be a change-up down the middle that you can crush, it just dives off to the hitter's right. And for right-handed hitters especially, not easy to catch up to. This breaking ball just misses. Matt Gassetti holds it a little longer. Thought they had strike 3, but came in a little high, so says Rich Capitelli. Brito on second here with 2 away. He reached on an infield single to Kalai Harrison. That took a funky bounce. 1-2. That one, a fastball misses upstairs, and it'll be 2-2 now. Zeal's had no problem getting ahead, but once he's got batters 0-2, he has struggled to put them away quickly. They're making him throw 2, 3, 4, or in the case of Carson Jones's case, 5 more pitches. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Zeal misses there. Above 30 pitches now at 34. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat to the 8-hitter and John Peck. And it is fought off towards the backstop. And we'll stay at 3-2.
Sort of similar to the mantra that the Mariners have, in that it's important you get off the field with 2 outs. It's important you sit guys down whenever you have 2 strikes against them, especially when you've been up in the count 0-2 several times now to batters. So Zeal, yes, he's been struggling to be able to lock down these at-bats when he's dominant to open them up.
3-2. This is lined into right field. Going back is Seidel, and he makes a leaping grab. Tommy Seidel, what a catch. He was ranging back and had to do a full extension, went up and got it to save a run for the Mariners, and the inning ends. Still 0-0. We head to the 3rd. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. top of the third, bottom third of the order for the Mariners. That is Will Hammer, Matt Gassetti, and David Smith due up.
Leading off the third for Harwich, the left fielder, number 36 out of Alabama, William Hammer.
Back-to-back Crimson Tide followed by a Husky for the Mariners. As just thinking back to that catch Tommy Seidel made, I mean, what a grab. And especially with the sun still out there in right field, to be able to rise up, see the ball, and come down with it is truly impressive as Will Hammer checks in, stays hot with a first pitch single to start off the third.
Yeah, speaking of impressive, I mean, just to see Hammer get right off to the start he has here tonight with that hit there. That's now hits in 4 straight games for Will Hammer. But yes, that catch out and right by Tommy Seidel. I mean, how many times have we seen him put on a show out in right field, be it with a catch or with a gun down at a bag in the infield? So not surprised to see Seidel putting it all out there to help his team win.
Seidel only hitting .234 on the season, but is an all-star, I think, largely in part to how he's been in the field. As it's going to be a double play for the Braves here. How about that? Bryce Eblin on a one-hopper is able to come down with it, step on the bag himself, and go to first to get Matt Gassetti in plenty of time. So despite the Mariners having a hit in every inning thus far, it's still the minimum with one batter to go to get through the 9 for Rob Adams.
Yeah, tough break. You hate to see that there if you're Harwich. You have some good fortune with getting the leadoff man on, but yeah, you've struggled to keep guys on the base paths. It's been interesting to watch early on here.
Coach Englert talking things over with David Smith prior to this at-bat. Smith coming off a 2-for-5 game out at Gov Fuller Field. He was great. Everything you could ask for in a 9-hitter, and as I've alluded to, him and Harrison's their jobs have gotten much more important with Nick Goodwin not in the lineup. One of the best offensive players for Harwich, so he stepped up last night. That was huge.
Yeah, and we'll see just how long Goodwin's going to be out of the lineup. We saw he's available to pinch hit here today, but I think with the way that the offense was able to click last night, I think in part that has something to do with it. Coach Englert rolling with the exact same 9, save for Gassetti and Arndt swapping out in the 8-hole as catchers.
It's quickly a 1-2 count to David Smith. Rob Adams has been making his way through this Harwich order in a different fashion, just kind of letting some guys on, but then picking them off, catching them stealing, or getting a double play ball, doing what he needs to do. Mariner has not gone beyond first base here tonight. 2-2 is fouled back towards the brick behind home plate, and we'll do it again. Third game of 4 between the two clubs. The first was back on June 17th, a 4-1 loss at White House Field for the M's. And they were walked off on June 29th here at Bourne, 7-6. It's a 3-2 count to David Smith, and this will be sort of a home-and-home series, sandwiching the off day, which is tomorrow. So the Bourne Braves will travel to White House for their last meeting with the Mariners in the regular season on Friday. As Smith lifts this one out to right field, Carson Jones coming in. He overran it, but had to dive back, and he made the catch. Kind of unorthodox, but you'll take it, as through the first 3, Rob Adams has faced the minimum. We head to the bottom half of the inning, still 0-0. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. 9-1-2 due up for the Bourne Braves. Devin Dobeck and Tim Foley bringing you a 0-0 ball game in the bottom of the third from Dorn Park. Just a couple minutes past the bridge here at Upper Cape Tech. Oh, no balls, one strike to the North Carolina catcher. Made his Bourne Braves home debut back on June 29th against these Mariners. Since then, he's hitting just 105 across 38 at-bats. Punched out 10 of them. No RBIs, has scored 3 times, though. It's quickly a 1-2 count from Gage Zeal, who's back out there for his 3rd inning of work. He's allowed 2 hits thus far and stranded both those runners. As a big swing and a miss from Frick. And he goes down swinging. That pitch was way out of the zone. It's a wonder that Matt Gassetti was able to stop it.
Second baseman
Frick
number
goes
2
down.
out of
That's
Alabama,
strikeout number
Bryce
3
Eblin.
for Gage Zeal.
Yeah, you like to see it. He's able to take care of the leadoff man. Better start here in this 3rd inning than he had in the 2nd. As Zeal continues to stay pretty locked in here, similar to Harwich out there. Similar, I should say, to Rob Adams. He's allowed so far a hit in each of his innings to this point, but has not allowed anybody to come across.
As back to the top of the order, Bryce Eblin, the second baseman, flied out to left in the bottom of the 1st, excuse me. We'll see what he can do here with 1 out and the base is empty. We are completely shaded, which feels pretty nice here at Dorn Park, but still a lot of light covering almost the entirety of the field with the exception of the left-hand batter's box and the catcher and umpire. It's 1-1 count from the Miami Hurricane. Now 1-2, and for Gage Zeal, a guy who came in, wasn't really sure how he would be utilized, and started in relief for a while, now becomes a starter, and he has earned it. Really putting on a show on the Cape. Just about 1 bad outing from being an all-star. 1 bad outing that hurt him from being an all-star, I would say, rather, to rephrase. 2-2 count to Bryce Eblin. And the pitch. This is grounded over to 3rd. Wilkin, a backhand pick. The throw is offline. Vetrano tries to apply the tag, and he got it on, but they're going to say, Alan Liberdoni is going to say that Bryce Eblin won the race to the bag. And so it will be yet another, we'll see how they score it as a single or an error, but the Braves have action on the base paths.
And Coach Englert's come out of the dugout now to have a brief word with Liberdoni over at first base. Tough break for Harwich, looking to get 2 outs in the inning, but yet again, it's another hit here for the Braves.
It will be an error.
Actually, yes, an error, sorry.
Error charge to Brock Wilkin. It's now his 4th of the season.
Center fielder number 21 out of North Carolina, Matt.
He had plenty of time to make the throw. The ball was hit so hard, it was awesome that he was able to backhand it, but then the throw over to first base just pulled Vetrano way wide. As this is flied out to center field, O'Donnell taking a few steps in, and he puts it away. So you get a quick second out there, but now got to go through the designated hitter in Matt Shaw.
I mean, that's what you like to see. Just bounce back, get a quick out on the very next pitch. You'll take it. Of course, a tough out coming here with Shaw, but it's about as good a situation as you can get with Shaw up to bat. 2 outs in the inning already and just a man on first. So potential here for Zeal to have another clean inning if he can handle Shaw, but much easier said than done.
He has one of the 2 Braves hits here tonight. First pitch is right middle away, and it's 0-1. Shaw, Maryland Terrapin, he's taking a look at his playbook, wrapped around his belt, see if the Braves put anything on here. They do have 77 stolen bases on the season compared to just a Harwich 32, so a team that really likes to run. Wouldn't be surprised. Not a bad time to run. The reward, you get a guy in scoring position for your best hitter, or if it doesn't work out, you get your best hitter to lead off in the 4th inning. As Shaw goes around there, so it'll be 0-2. Coach Engler thought that the home plate umpire and Rich Capitelli should have called that a swing, as Shaw did appear to go pretty much entirely around.
He did, but I think part of what held up the call was that it looked like he was sort of trying to shield away from contact, so needed a second opinion.
This one is fired up and in to make it a 2-2 count. And just to talk about Zeal a little more, I had a former colleague of mine, he does broadcasting down at the University of Miami. He says Zeal is expected to be the closer for the Hurricanes this upcoming spring, so I can only imagine that his time here in the Cape has helped his campaign to become that best reliever. As it's fouled off here, and the count will be 1-2.
I mean, that should be exciting to be able to go back to your school, Power 5 conference, and be a closer for your program. How about it?
1-2, cut on a miss. Down goes Matt Shaw, and Gage Zeal strands yet another one. So, we head to the 4th inning, still nothing on the scoreboard here from Doran Park. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We head to the middle third. Devin Dobeck and Tim Foley along with you. Still scoreless here in Bourne, Massachusetts. And for the 4th through 6th innings, my broadcast partner Tim Foley will be taking over play-by-play duties. Tim.
Thanks so much, Devin, as it's now going to be the top of the order up for the 2nd time here for the Mariners. Ethan O'Donnell, Tommy Seidel, and Joe Vitrano all set to come up to bat in this half inning, as it's Rob Adams who's back out for his 4th inning of work. First pitch into Ethan O'Donnell is low. Did he go around on the check swing? He did not. And so the at-bat opens up 1-0. O'Donnell, he took the first pitch of the ball game out for a ride to dead center field, allowed first out to open up the game. As the next pitch misses down low in the dirt. It's a 2-0 count now here to the batter in O'Donnell.
And just 34 pitches for Adams through those first 3 completed innings. He's been great.
This one's lined over the head of the first baseman in Brito, and that's going to get down into right field. A leadoff single for the Mariners, and they now have their 4th hit of the ball game. But a point that we've been harping on a bit here is that Harwich, despite having a hit in all 3 innings so far, Rob Adams has only faced the minimum. Tommy Seidel was caught stealing after getting on to first. Kalai Harrison was picked off after getting on. And Will Haminer was the first leg of a double play that was hit up to the second baseman, Bryce Eblin. And so Bourne has found ways to clean up the base paths whenever anybody's gotten on base. So Ethan O'Donnell, he may be safe on first right now, but safe for how long, who's to say? As the first pitch comes into Tommy Seidel, that's in for a called strike, and the count opens up at 0-1. And there have been some out-of-town scores going on here today. Devin, why don't you enlighten us on how the league's looking?
Well, just most notably, everybody's concerned about the Brewster game if you're a Harwich fan, of course, because Brewster tied with you for second in the standings. You own the tiebreaker, but still you want to have that breathing room. Wareham jumped out to a 6-0 lead through the first 5 innings, but it's been a 7-run bottom of the 7th and counting for the Whitecaps. They lead it 7-6 at Stony Brook Field. Talk about a comeback.
Certainly so, and I mean, this is a Brewster team that's put up 7 runs in an inning against Harwich at that, and so we've seen it before, what Brewster's done, as it's an 0-1 count here to Seidel. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss outside. It's a 1-1 count now, but yeah, if you're Harwich, that just puts a lot of pressure on you here tonight, because while you have the head-to-head tiebreaker, not much you can do if you start to fall behind to be able to keep pace with whatever they're doing. 1-1 count here. Adams stares over at O'Donnell on first. This one's going to be hit foul. It's a 1-2 count now to Seidel.
Also around the league, Orleans on top of YD 3-1 at Red Wilson Field in the bottom of the 8th. YD trying to clinch that 1 seed, but they lost yesterday. Now just a few outs away from losing again here today. Chatham on top of Falmouth 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th at Arnie Allen Diamond. And of course, Cotuit on top of Hyannis 7-4 in the bottom of the 6th. Hyannis has lost a couple as of recently.
Throw back to first. Oh, and they nearly got O'Donnell. Would have been the second pickoff of the day for Rob Adams, the sneaky lefty standing up on the hill, as O'Donnell just got back in time before Chris Brito was able to apply the tag. Adams stares in. Seidel. It's been a long at-bat. We've seen plenty of pickoffs over to first base from Adams. Not many pitches to Seidel. Another pickoff over to O'Donnell, as he'll step back onto first. That's the 3rd pickoff attempt that we've seen so far on O'Donnell. Justin Seidel's at bat. It's a 1-2 count. Adams holds the glove head height, comes set, stares at O'Donnell. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground left side, picked up by Enos. He'll throw on to second for 1. They got him on to first for 2. Not in time. They cut down the lead runner. The Mariners are yet to get a man down to second base still. There's 1 gone with a man on first here in the top of the 4th inning.
Close play at second. Ethan O'Donnell almost got in there and beat it. It was a tough play to make for Ryan Enos. You got to tip your cap to him. He had to get that ball there in a hurry and did it well and accurately.
So they do cut down the lead runner, as mentioned, in O'Donnell. Harwich has had 4 on here today. They've all failed to reach second base. We'll see if Seidel's going to be able to crack the code. Seidel has been caught stealing once today after he got on with a single. And he's going to be caught out in between first and second on a throw back down from the catcher to second in the middle of a steal. Seidel in the rundown, and he's going to get tagged. So I don't believe it. It's happened now for 4 straight innings where the Mariners are able to record a hit. And while, yes, there's still an at-bat to be had here in Joe Vitrano, there's nobody on right now, and another chance for Rob Adams to face the minimum despite seeing excessive amounts of traffic on the base paths. Harwich is just playing some poor small ball right now, not managing the base running game very well here from Bourne.
It has been really abysmal. I mean, you can't even harp about how bad it's been, because Tommy Seidel, your #1 stolen base guy, has been caught twice. You had another guy in Harrison get picked off, as we've mentioned. I mean, this is uncharacteristic. We haven't seen this many errors on the base paths in a long, long time from these Mariners.
Seidel's now been caught stealing 7 times to his 10 stolen bases. Not the greatest ratio. It's been going down a bit recently for him. Got caught stealing in the 9th inning yesterday to wrap up that 9th inning against Falmouth. 3-0 pitch comes into Vitrano. That's hit on the ground over to Peck. He'll field it. Throw on to first is a bit high, but it's just within the range of Chris Brito, who pulls it in, makes the out, and ends the inning. So the Harwich Mariners get a man on first, but they cannot get him down to second. And once again, 4 straight innings, Rob Adams has had men on base, but he still only faces the minimum. Only 12 Mariners have come up to bat in the ball game. We head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a 0-0 game here from Doran Park. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich
respect,
Mariners YouTube
teamwork,
network.
friendships, and confidence. Rutgers, Evan Slight.
We bring you back inside of Bourne Park. It's going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up in the inning for the Braves. Evan Slight, Chris Brito, and Carson Jones. Slight opens it up as Gage Zeal is back out on the bump. His first pitch misses for a ball. It's a 1-0 count here to Evan Slight, who in his last at-bat grounded out to the shortstop to close out the first inning. Here's the 1-0 offering from Zeal. And that's going to miss down low. It's a 2-0 count now. We've seen him get ahead of batters plenty well, but struggling here to find the strike zone early in the at-bat with Slight. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Fastball. Tipped actually back into the mid of Cassetti. So at that, it's a 2-1 count now.
And you can kind of put an asterisk next to that ground out to shortstop. It was a ball hit to the right side that Harrison had the IQ to roll all the way over to and get on the infield grass on the right side and make a play at first base.
It's a sort of Scott Pickler 6-3 ground out that you'd see. Got the shortstop all the way on the right side of the bag, although Kalai Harrison, as you said, he just came over from the left side to the right side, charged in just that far at it, as it's a 2-2 count. Hit on the ground foul back toward us here at the broadcast booth. Do it again at 2-2, and I think that's the play you want to see happen defensively if you're Harwich in that situation. And a ball that's slow over to David Smith, he's not going to have a lot of momentum on that throw once he picks it up. So Harrison, in stride on his way to first, was able to get it in time and record the out. Here's the 2-2. Tip back down beneath the glove of Cassetti, goes back down into the dirt. Got a piece of somebody, I believe the home plate umpire, perhaps. So we'll take a moment here as it's a 2-2 count still.
Slight hanging in there, fouling off a few pitches. He's now going to see 7 from Gage Zeal, whose pitch count is already up to 57. If he wants to go deeper into this ball game, he's going to have to find a way to get outs more quickly.
Zeal nods, kicks, and delivers. Checks his swing. It's down in the dirt. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. 5th strikeout of the night from Gage Zeal through 3 1/3. He's been doing a nice job so far. As down goes Slight. There's one gone now for Chris Brito.
Big one for him there. Just fooled him. Slight getting too aggressive. He swings at a ball in the dirt. And yes, he did go around. So says Joe LaBella. And the right call there.
Brito, as mentioned, stands in. He'll foul off the first pitch. It's now 0-1. Brito in his last at-bat had a single to lead off the second inning. Ended up getting down to second base on what was ruled a wild pitch, as that's going to be hit foul as well. It's an 0-2 count now here to Brito, a chance for Zeal to put him away. Ended up being stranded on second. That's the furthest anybody's gotten here tonight. Braves have only had 2 other base runners. They've only ever gotten as far as first. Zeal looks all the way back over to right field to try to make sure that his right fielder and Tommy Seidel is in position, because he had to come over in foul territory and field that ball. No ball boys down the lines here. Cape League teams aren't afforded that much luxury. It's an 0-2 count. Zeal nods, kicks, and delivers. Misses up high. Looked like a bit of an off-speed pitch, but could not keep it in the zone, and so it's a 1-2 count now. The 1-2. Hit on the ground left side. Fielded by Harrison. In stride, throws on to first. 2 gone.
Makes it look so routine. Harrison, we weren't sure what we were going to
Right
get
fielder,
when he first got here. Got started to at shortstop, was making a handful of errors early on, but since then he has been just about rock solid for the Mariners. Everything hit his way, he makes a play on, with the exception of that wonky infield hit earlier in the ball game. Took a weird hop up over his head.
It was a bizarre situation, but again, a guy in Harrison, his story, as you'll recall, injured early in the season over at Texas A&M, was not playing all too much baseball this spring. That's going to be hit right side, fielded by Smith. He'll whip it onto first base, and there's a 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Braves. It's the first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game in that nobody got on at any point, despite the fact that the Mariners have only had 3 up to bat. And all 4 of their innings, they're going to try to get a few more up to bat in this next 5th inning coming up in a moment. We'll be back to bring you that. It's still 0-0 here from Durham Park. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network.
Brock Wilkin.
It's the top of the 5th inning. It's the Demon Deacon. It's Brock Wilkin who stands in, leads it off for Harwich. Struck out swinging to open up the 2nd inning in his last time up. It's Rob Adams once again towing the rubber for the Braves, trying to go 5 innings here if he can. At least he's been working well to this point, as that's going to be hit right back up the middle by Wilkin, picked up by Eblin. Throwing to first is in time, a bit low and off the mark, but Chris Brito's got a big frame over at first base. He's able to stretch, make the catch, and there's 1 gone.
Hitter, number 33,
really nice play by Eblin that time.
Stokely.
Looked for a minute as if the catcher and Adams was going to be able to make a play, but it gets by him, and then kind of an awkward spot where he fielded it. That being Eblin, makes a good throw over to first and just gets the power hitter in Wilkin.
Yeah, nearly did go back to Adams, but really nice pickup by Eblin, as you put it, as that's going to be in for a called strike on the outside part of the plate to Hunter Stokely, who just stares for a moment because he was not quite too sure that that was a strike, but he is behind in the count, 0-1.
I think that 9 out of 10 called strikes he disagrees with. He always looks at the umpire like, are you kidding me?
He'll foul off the 0-1 pitch. It's 0-2 now. That one ricochets, pinballs around the door frame over at Upper Cape Tech. And a fan has picked it up now and walks off into the night. His night's done. It's an 0-2 count. Stokely in his last at-bat struck out looking. He was the 3rd strikeout victim for Rob Adams. He was the last man to strike out to Adams. And he's yet again another strikeout victim of Rob Adams. Swing and a miss from Hunter Stokely as he goes down. There's 2 gone now in the inning.
Shortstop, number 35 out of North Carolina
Tough break
State.
there for Stokely.
Harrison.
But you got to credit Adams. He has been great at finding ways to get batters, face the minimum. He's faced just 14 Mariners, which is the minimum. Despite allowing the 4 hits, getting the job done. Now a chance for his first legit 1-2-3 inning.
First pitch into Harrison is going to miss for a ball, and so the count opens at 1-0. Kalai Harrison in his last at-bat for Harwich. He was picked off after getting a single in his last at-bat. This one's going to be lined out to left field, and that's going to be caught. Evan Slight, some sleight of hand as he comes sliding in and makes the grab. What a display we've seen from outfielders here this evening. It's been a show from everybody who's been out in the grass. We'll be back on the other side, still a scoreless game. We're halfway through this one already. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Thanks you for Ryan Enos.
Welcome back inside Doran Park. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick along with you as we head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ryan Enos, John Peck, and Tomas Frick all due up in this half inning for the Bourne Braves. Gage Zeal is back out on the mound. It's his 5th inning of work as that bunt's going to be popped up, but it gets down before anybody can swarm onto it. And so Ryan Enos, after he made his way all the way down to first, he's got some wheels, is going to have to step back to home plate and dig in once again. He's behind in the count, 0-1. Gage Zeal, he is back out there for his 5th inning of work. Longest outing of the season so far for him is 5 2/3. That came earlier this month, back on the 19th, just about a week ago. It was last Tuesday at YD in that 7-7 tie. And so trying to get closer to that mark. So we've seen him put together some excellent outings. See what he's able to take care of here. It's an 0-2 count now here to Enos, who has already struck out swinging once tonight. The pitch. Missed outside, 1-2.
Enos, a teammate with a couple Mariners. Of course, Andrew Ronnie, who's no longer with the ball club, went to ETSU. And the bullpen catcher, Hunter Seahorn, a product of the same State University, I guess you'd call it.
Hit on the ground left side, caught by Harrison. He'll throw over to first, but it's another throw that's off the mark. And so safe on first base is Ryan Enos. It should have been an out, as it was a very nice stab by Kalai Harrison to be able to pick that ball, but he rushed the throw, and it is going to go down as an error. That pulled Vetrano pretty well off the bag.
Tough play to make if you're Harrison, of course,
John
jinxing him, as I said how great his defense has been as of late, but it was a great job to stop it. The throw just wide. He had to rush it, couldn't make it a good one, so he's credited with an error, his 3rd of the season.
It's the 2nd error of the ball game for the Harwich Mariners, who had 2 errors last night as well. First pitch is going to be hit on the ground right side. Smith misplays it, and everybody's going to be safe. Perhaps could have been a double play, as it was a routine ground ball hit over to David Smith, but as he tried to field it, I'm not sure, did he try to barehand that thing, as he ultimately is charged with an error. It's the 2nd error of the inning, 3rd of the game, and the Braves have men on 1st and 2nd now.
Yeah, he just tried to throw it over to second before he even had it. That's what every coach has told you in baseball. Ball first. He took his eyes off it, looking to make the play, and It ricochets out of his glove, and you don't get anything there. Tough break for David Smith.
So now men on first and second, nobody gone. Bunts laid down, charging in Vetrano. He'll look back to first, makes the throw on to Smith, and so that will retire Tomas Frick, but he does his job as he lays down the bunt and is able to move everybody up 90 feet. Enos is now down to third. John Peck is up to second base, and the Braves are threatening here with just one gone in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Out of Alabama, Bryce
You couldn't
Eplin.
ask for a better guy to drop that bunt down. A guy in Tomas Frick who's batting just above 100 this season. So for him to sacrifice himself, advance the runners, and now the top of your order coming up with 2 ducks on the pond, that's just fantastic situational baseball.
Plus, you're testing this Harwich defense a bit here. It's been questionable here in this fifth inning as Bryce Eblin swings and misses at the first pitch he gets. Falls behind at the count 0-1 as Eblin, this is his third plate appearance on the night. He's 0 for 2, flew out to left in his first AB and then reached on an error back in the third. Zeal kicks and delivers. Checks his swing, and it's not going to go around, so says home plate umpire, and it's going to miss outside, so it's a 1-1 count now.
And the Mariners just 2-5-4 when recording multiple errors. And when you do it in the same inning, that just maximizes those odds of losing because it's the first 2 runners in the inning. So now 1 out, you got to find a way to pitch out of it.
As the 1-1 misses high, it's a 2-1 count now, and yes, it all just compounds whenever you find yourself in that situation. So Harwich going to need to try and find a way to get out of it here should they want to keep this a tie game. 2-1 is cut on and missed. It was going down low. Bryce Eblin went golfing for it. Could not find any of it. It's a 2-2 count now.
Eblin also reached on an error in the third. That was the first error made by Wilkin. So 3 of the 4 infielders have made errors for Harwich.
That one misses high and outside. It's a full count now here to Bryce Eblin. Zeal has struck out 5 on the night. He's not walked anybody yet. He's looking for strikeout number 6 perhaps here if he can get it on Eblin. Would be the 6th different Bravo he's retired by way of K as he kicks and delivers. Hit on the ground sharply right side, but that's going to be foul down the first base line, excuse me. And we'll do it again at 3-2.
Definitely don't want to lose this guy and put him on bases. You got Horvath coming up, a guy hitting 269, 9 RBIs, and then Matt Shaw. So don't want to get into the teeth of the lineup. Get the guy hitting 228 at the top of the order.
3-2. Misses down in the dirt, and easy take for Bryce Eblin, and he will now trot down to first base. It's the first walk of the night from either side here, as the bases are now loaded with just 1 gone. Pitching coach Steve Rosen is going to head out to the mound and have a talk here with Zeal. We've talked about it a bit. A reliever for the most part of the season here for the Mariners. As for Zeal, it is just his 3rd start now. Was not a starter whatsoever over at Miami this past season. So he's not used to these long outings. 31 innings pitched at Miami this past spring to just 28 games appeared in. So averaging hardly over an inning pitched whenever he does come in. And now here he is trying to give his team a lengthy outing, but he's having some trouble here. And again, it's not all been his fault. There's been 2 errors in the inning. So his defense not helping him out all too much.
Out of North
Zeal
Carolina,
being a guy who
Horvath.
you don't want to leave out to dry.
And in a low offense game, the more errors you make is just only going to hurt you because your offense hasn't been producing. So if you're giving the other team free opportunities to score, well, that's going to be hard to come back from.
As the first pitch catches the outside part of the plate for a called strike to Mac Horvath. Count opens at 0-1. Horvath on the night 0 for 2. Struck out swinging back in the first, flew out to center back in the third. Here's the 0-1. Chopped foul, 0-2 now.
Now there's a lot you can do. You're way ahead. You got that nasty breaking ball that you know you can use. You've struck Horvath out once with it. So We'll see if he decides to waste a pitch or go right at him. A lot of options for Zeal. Needs this out to be a strikeout.
Zeal nods, kicks, and delivers. Off speed, up high, misses. It's a 1-2 count now. And what I was going to say is that you have to get the feeling that Coach Rosen went out there to try and tell him just go after guys, but the 0-2 ended up missing high, so we'll see what Zeal offers here. The pitch. Swing and a miss, ends up coming out of the glove of Gassetti. Play to the plate is not going to be there, and so everybody's going to be safe. It is a strikeout as down goes Horvath, but it's the first run of the game as Ryan Enos comes in to score. John Peck is up to third. Bryce Eblin's now down to second, and Coach Englert has come out of the dugout. He's having a talk with the home plate umpire in Capitelli. We'll see what exactly comes of it here as Englert's not too happy right now.
This is a rare circumstance where I'm not completely sure what's going on, because regardless, they're going to say maybe a foul tip. Gassetti saying maybe a foul tip. That would be the only thing that makes sense, because if it's a pass ball, if it's a pass ball, then the guy just can come home anyway. But a foul tip would revert everyone. Also extend the at-bat, so it's give and take. We'll see. It looks like a brief meeting. Yeah, they're going to count the run.
And so it is Enos who comes home to score. He is the first run of the ball game. It is unearned as he got on with an error. And again, it's Peck down to third now. Bryce Eblin's up to second base. Matt Horvath is retired. It is now 6 strikeouts for Gage Zeal on the evening. But his team's now in a hole here, 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. His first pitch into Matt Shaw, who's 1 for 2 on the night, is going to miss high. Fastball for a ball. It's a 1-0 count. Shaw singled in the first inning and struck out swinging to end the third. 1-0. That's going to miss for a ball. Where exactly, I'm uncertain. Nonetheless, it's a ball, and so it's a 2-0 count now.
Harwich dugout really displeased. Gage Zeal laughing on the mound. He can't believe it.
2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
Dangerous pitch there to a great hitter in Shaw. He's got 5 home runs, and he hung a breaking ball there. Granted the outer part of the plate, but if Shaw catches up to that, you better look out. 2 runners in scoring position as well.
Zeal kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss down low, and it's now 2-2. Really nice pitch to get Shaw to offer.
Ended up in the dirt, but Shaw was expecting a fastball, and it just sloped right off. Big pitch coming up for Gage now.
Looking for strikeout number 7. Zeal rocks and delivers. Off speed misses high, as it has here tonight for Zeal, and it's a 3-2 count now. Zeal right now, so far, he's up to about 84 pitches. Been a busy showing here in the 5th. As Zeal nods, kicks and delivers. Strike 3 swinging. Down goes Shaw. 5 complete now for Gage Zeal, but he does give up a run in the inning. Ryan Enos comes across to score. It is unearned, but it still counts on the scoreboard. And so it's 1-0 Bourne as we head to the top of the 6th inning. We'll be back with more on the other side. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. It's the top of the 6th inning. Harwich now in a hole after giving up the game's first run in the bottom of the 5th. Ryan Enos is the only man in the ballpark who can say he's come across a score today. As Will Haminer leads it off for Harwich in the top of the 6th inning. We will see him, Matt Gussetti, and David Smith, the 7, 8, 9 hitters here in this frame. First pitch is going to be in for a called strike. Off-speed pitch. Back out for his now 6th inning of work. It's Rob Adams, who's having himself a night. And he's been efficient. Why not put him back out there for yet another inning? As so far to this point, he's only thrown 52 pitches. Make it now 53 as the 0-1 misses for a ball. It's a 1-1 count now.
Sensational. A guy making his first start, for him to be the way he's been out on the mound, picking guys off, getting guys in rundowns, has allowed the 4 hits, but it hasn't hurt him.
And his off-speed's been working as he finds it in the zone once again to get back ahead of Will Haminer here. One of the more recent threats in the lineup for Harwich. 1-2 is going to miss down low. It's a 2-2 count now here to Haminer. Haminer singled in his last at-bat, but was the first leg of a 4-3 double play. 2-2. Off speed, couldn't find the zone as he has twice already in this at-bat. It's a 3-2 count now. He's not walked anybody yet here tonight. He's only faced 15 batters. That's the minimum through 5. 3-2. And that's going to miss outside, ball 4. First walk of the night issued by Rob Adams. And so the Mariners have a man on first, but from what we've learned here tonight, if anything, that does not necessarily mean that he will stay on the base paths by any extent.
No kidding. They've had a hit in the first through 4th innings and have not stranded a man yet tonight.
Usually you like to think that that means somebody hit a home run and cleaned it up, but no, it's just been some abysmal base running here tonight for Harwich. Twice caught stealing, once picked off. Not much you can do about the double play. This one's going to be popped up over out towards second base. Underneath it is Eblin. He'll make the catch. There's one gone on one pitch. Down goes Matt Gussetti.
So now David Smith, the guy who made an error in the last inning, which is
Baseman
why
number 4
Bourne
on
got
the
on the
Yukon,
scoreboard
David
along with
Smith.
Harrison. He's got a chance to move the runners over, pick up a hit for himself here. Always love a chance for vengeance at the plate. It's a great way to kind of move on from that previous mistake.
So we'll see what he offers. O'Donnell stands on deck. Harwich trying to get the 4 batters up to bat for the first time all night. And here we go once again. Rob Adams, before he even delivers a pitch into David Smith, he gives an offering over to Will Haminer standing on first base. So we'll see. He's already picked a man off tonight. He's been close to picking off a second man in O'Donnell. Stares over at first, comes home. Runner goes for second. Tip back to the backstop by Smith. That will send Haminer back to first. And we'll do it again. It's 0-1.
And at the pace this game is going, it's no surprise to me that Coach Engler being aggressive, electing for runners to steal bases. Haminer, not a guy we've seen take too many bases, but you haven't stranded anyone. You haven't had a runner get all the way up to second yet, so got to find a way to move them there yourselves.
0-1 count. Adams stares at first. Here's the pitch. Just going to miss outside. It's 1-1 now. Haminer holding tight over at first this time around. He will stand pat. Harwich perhaps not wanting to risk a base runner now here. Although, again, I agree. The game is quickly getting away from you in regards to how many outs you have left. Just a 1-run game, but it's been a struggle offensively. As the 1-1 comes in, misses outside for a ball. It's a 2-1 count now.
And the game feels so much shorter. It seems to be going by so much quicker after the longest game of the season last night, which took 3 hours and 31 minutes at Falmouth.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. I mean, my word. Long night over at Gov Fuller. 2-1 misses outside. It's a 3-1 count now.
The zone's getting tighter. We're seeing a lot of pitches that are close being called both ways. You got to hand it to Capitelli. He's been consistent.
Adams comes set, stares over at first base. 3-1. In for a called strike. 3-2 count now. Harwich has not gotten a man up to second base. 5 times here tonight, a man's been cut down trying to go to second base one way or another. Adams comes set, stares at first once again, pulls the glove down to his waist. And a pickoff move there, and they're going to catch Hamiter out in the base paths. Throw down to second from first, and they got him. I'm at a loss for words. The Harwich Mariners have gotten a man on in nearly every inning, but every single time a man has gotten on base for the Mariners. In his attempt to get down to second base, it has proved futile. Will Hamiter is now the 6th Mariner who has failed to get to second base here tonight, and yet again, Rob Adams stands to get out of the inning facing the minimum. It's a 3-2 count here to David Smith. Here's the pitch, and that's going to miss down low. Ball 4. It does send Smith down to first base, but even still, I'm not going to be surprised if we see this inning end with Ethan O'Donnell still up to bat without being retired.
Center fielder number 2 out of Virginia, Ethan O'Donnell.
You really have to be here to understand it. It's been terrible base running. I don't know what Harwich is doing. Yes, I get it, trying to be aggressive, but that aggressive play is what has led to you having all these runners taken off the base paths. So maybe change your approach and let your batters do some swinging. You do have 4 hits. It's not like the bats have been all that quiet, so maybe just try and string a few together and stay put on the base paths.
As first pitch into O'Donnell misses for a ball. It's a 1-0 count here. But again, Adams, he's a lefty, and often you hear lefties have such a lethal pickoff move because they're naturally facing first base, and it's been working for him here tonight, so much so. It's just been excellent for him. As he will throw on to first base. It's a 1-0 count now. David Smith not all that large a lead over at first. Rob Adams is going to be paying him a lot of attention over on first.
And I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the Harwich base runners, but if you take a look at Adams' move, when he goes over to first base, he looks at the base runner, kicks his leg, looks home, so it looks like he's going to come with a delivery, and then just goes right back to the bag at the very last moment. And that is what has hung all these Mariners out to dry here.
He's just been pulling the carpet out from underneath him. As the 1-1 is going to be delivered onto first base, and it's going to remain a 1-1 count here to Ethan O'Donnell. And part of the pickoff move that's just so lethal is, hey, he just flips his glance over toward home. It's just convincing everybody that he's going to throw a pitch. Not a large lead from Smith. Here's the 1-1. Misses for a ball. It's now 2-1.
And obviously you want to get a good jump, so you're going at the first sign of the pitcher going home, but you're going to have to take your time and be a little delayed over at first base if you're going to try and steal a base, because this guy knows what he's doing out there when he goes over to first.
Pickoff attempt once again to first base. That will keep Smith at the bag, and it's a 2-1 count still here to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, he's 1 for 2 on the night, singled back in the 4th, flew out to center field to open up the ball game. 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2 now. Fastball, blew it right by him. Mariners down to their final strike here in the 6th. Right now, Adams currently up to 88 pitches. Not sure if you can factor in all the pickoff attempts into that count as well with how busy he's been over at first, but nonetheless, 88 pitches, it's been impressive. Or pardon, 68, as I am in need of going back to grade school perhaps. It's a 3-2 count now as the 2-2 misses outside to Ethan O'Donnell. So we have a payoff pitch coming up here from Adams. He's walked 2 in this inning after having not walked anybody all day long. See what happens on this next pitch. He's also struck out 4. Looking for number 5, perhaps. The pitch. Called strike 3. He got him with the off speed. Finally found it in the zone, and that's the inning. So the Mariners finally get 4 to record official at-bats in an inning, but nothing comes of it. As we head now to the bottom of the 6th inning, Harwich still trails 1-0. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We welcome you back inside Doran Park. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick along with you for the bottom of the 6th inning. Harwich currently in a 1-0 hole right now as Bourne is back up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll give you another update on the out-of-town scoreboard because there are some developments happening here. Brewster Whitecaps at a time trailed 6-0. They then grabbed a lead as this is going to be hit foul. Jumped out 8-6, but Wareham has jumped back now at Stony Brook Field in the top of the 9th inning. They now lead it 9-8, and that's a game that if Wareham can hold on, that helps Harwich out immensely. Whether or not Harwich comes away with a win here tonight, it would keep them in second, as the 0-2 offering is going to miss inside. It's a 1-2 count now. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. His name is Jacob Edwards. The day is done for Gage Zeal, who had an excellent outing here for Harwich. As the 1-2 is going to miss up high. Fastball, 2-2 count now. Zeal, his final line reads as such. 5 complete innings, gave up just the 2 hits. 1 run, it was unearned, walked a batter, and struck out 7. Devin, really impressive stuff here from Zeal in the start.
He was fantastic, and it's really a shame.
As that's going to be called strike 3. Down goes the batter in Evan Slight. It's the second time he's struck out today, and Jacob Edwards opens up his night with a
First
K.
baseman, number 28.
It's really a shame that they couldn't line him up for the win. I mean, arguably his best outing as a Harwich Mariner. He allowed just the 2 hits, as you mentioned, didn't allow an earned run, but his defense made 3 errors behind him. That was the story, and that's why his team trails as he exits.
That ball's going to be tattooed back up the middle, just past the glove of Kalai Harrison. It's a 1-out single for Chris Brito, who is on for the 2nd time tonight. 2 hits for him.
What a nice swing there, getting those hands inside, barreling up the baseball. Nothing that the middle infield can do as this one labeled for grass out there in the outfield. So now we'll see if the Braves can move anyone over and get that earned run. 1-run lead, not safe by any means.
No, not against a Harwich team that has put up 6 and 7 runs in single innings in each their past 2 games. As the first pitch from Edwards into Carson Jones is in for a called strike, and the count opens at 0-1. Carson Jones on the night. He's grounded out twice, once the 3rd, once the 2nd. It's an 0-1 count here. Edwards kicks and delivers. Foul tip back to the mitt. Gassetti holds on. It's an 0-2 count. Edwards' numbers on the season for Harwich. This is his 4th appearance. He rocks an ERA of .270. He's struck out 9 to walking just 1 across his 6 2/3, a high-volume strikeout guy. He's looking for number 2 across 3 batters. He's the lefty in his own right as he delivers a pickoff move over to Chris Brito on first base. He'll get the ball back and get set to face off once again against Jones in an 0-2 count. Comes set on the mound. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts here across 3 batters faced for Jacob Edwards, and he's an out away from getting out of the 6th.
We finally have a final now. The Orleans Firebirds beat the YD Red Sox 9-1 at Red Wilson Field, and for the Sox, that's their 3rd straight loss. A team who's trying to lock up home field advantage and the 1 seed in the playoffs, but they are really not winning too many ball games to try and secure that just yet.
As the first pitch into Ryan Enos is going to be in for a called strike, and so the count is going to open at 0-1. YD currently at 45 points in the standings. You have each Brewster and Harwich at 36. They're the next 2 closest teams, as that one's going to miss in the dirt. It's a 1-1 count now. So 9 points the difference right now. Brewster, unless they can come back, they will stay at 9 points. And it will be very difficult for them to be able to come back and take first in the East. They would have a 1-point margin of error, as that's going to be hit on the ground right back to Edwards. He will jog over to first, flip it onto Petrano, and the inning ends. So Jacob Edwards comes in, strikes out 2, and fields a ground ball, and does a very nice job coming in relief of Gage Zeal. We head to the 7th inning. Harwich still down 1-0. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. It's the top of the 7th inning. Harwich down 1-0 to the Bourne Braves. For play-by-play across the final 3 innings, my broadcast partner, Devin Dobick. Devin.
Thank you, Tim. So it's going to be a call to the bullpen. Greg Schurer will take the hill. Or Craig, excuse me. Craig Schurer. Interesting spelling. It's C-R-E-G-G. How about that? He's behind the count 1-0. Now 2-0 to Tommy Seidel. Making his Bourne Braves debut. New York native. Pitches for the Albany Great Danes up in New York, so staying relatively close to home. He comes in relief of Rob Adams, who was fantastic tonight. He went 6 complete innings, allowed just 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
And faced just 1 more than the minimum. 19 batters faced across 6 innings. He was unbelievable. I mean, he was helped out by the fact that Harwich had some abysmal base running decisions here tonight. But nonetheless, you take advantage of your opportunities when you get them. And even still, it was his sneaky pickoff moves that was really setting everything up. So he did a lot of work himself on the mound here tonight.
3-1 pitch from Schurer is foul tipped into the mitt to make it 3-2. Seidel on the day has singled and also reached on a fielder's choice. He's been caught twice, which now gives him the league lead in being caught stealing with 7 times that's happened. He leapfrogs the 3-way tie for first place at 6 caught stealing. 3-2. This misses down low, and Tommy Seidel now on the base paths for the 3rd time tonight. Draws a leadoff walk, and we'll see what the Mariners can do with that.
If you are the owner of a red iPhone with a red checkered case and a black card pocket, please come to the press box
Brings
at
up
this time
Joe
for
Vitrano.
Red iPhone with a red checkered case and a black card holder. Your phone has been returned to the press box at this time. Please come receive it. Thank you.
And wow, how
Now
about
the
it?
first baseman,
Brewster
number 30 out of Boston
has
College,
tied the
Joe
Gateman
Vitrano.
9-9 in the bottom of the 9th. Wow, so some punches being traded.
That's at least a point for them, guaranteed.
So the Mariners going to have to pull something together here. As there goes the runner, and Seidel down to second. He's actually going to steal the base. How about it? Staying confident in himself, and how he's in scoring position with nobody gone. We'll see how they use Joe Vitrano, who's ahead 1-0.
And that's what you have to do, is be confident in yourself. You have a new pitcher in there. You want to try to start putting pressure on him as well with a different wind-up, different delivery, perhaps taking his time a bit more. So Seidel, he was able to make it down with some good timing, and all of a sudden it's the first Mariner of the night to make it down to second base, and it comes here in the 7th inning.
1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and it was a Curtis Bourne solo shot that tied the ball game between the Gatemen and Whitecaps. Wareham was trailing 8-6, scored 3 in the top of the 9th. Brewster scores 1 in the bottom of the 9th and counting. There is 2 outs, and the base is empty. But they have guaranteed themselves a point, as you put it, Tim. 1-1. This is slowly chopped over short. A tough play for Peck. He gets it on the first. How about that? The Pepperdine Wave gets that on the short hop, beats Joe Vitrano, who did get the runner and settle over to third, but a great out. Something that could have been an infield hit.
Yeah, he snow-coned that thing. It just hung in on the end of his glove. Really impressive stuff coming out there from Peck, as he was able to keep that thing within his reach and record the out. While it is fancy, yes, you said it well, Devin, even still, I mean, that does the same exact job as a sacrifice bunt. It puts the game-tying run over on third base, so you're content, if you're Harwich, to let Bourne have that fielding, that ground out rather, over to third. Second, shortstop, oh boy.
It's a first pitch strike to Brock Wilkin right down Broadway, and this is the guy you want up if you're Harwich. He's 0 for 2 on the day, is grounded out to second and struck out. A guy more than capable of picking up a sac fly. And he'll pop this one up and over the backstop for strike 2. Another final score for you. The Katuitt Kettleers get out of a jam in the 9th inning to beat the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 7-5. The Hawks have lost 3 straight, and Katuitt has reclaimed possession of first place in the West. Big swing out there. An 0-2 pitch to Wilkin, misses up high. And now it'll be 1-2 with Hunter Stokely on deck. Long look in from Schurer. And the pitch. Wilkin rips this one, but foul off to the left. Back towards the water experimentation center here at Upper Cape Tech. That one was blasted, but it's got to straighten out. As there is a final score for you. Brewster and Wareham tie at 9-9 from Stony Brook Field. These 4 o'clock starts going to really be nice to have a lot of final scores ahead of the Mariner finish. As Wilkin goes down there, he's arguing he foul tipped it, but it's going to be an out, says Capitelli behind the plate. So Wilkin goes down swinging for the second time tonight, and now much more difficult task to get that run in from third for Stokely.
Yeah, really nice job done by Schurer as he's able to take care of the batter, and Wilkin, always a tough out. Does a very nice job to be able to put himself in a better spot here to try and leave that run stranded on third.
Stokely is taken down to a knee to swing through that one. It's 0-1. The only other active game is the Anglers and the Commodores, where the Anglers lead at 6-0 in the top of the 8th out at Gov Fuller Field. They're trying to tighten up that East as much as they can. Give you an updated look in just a moment as Stokely grounds it over to second. Shouldn't be much trouble for Eblin. He throws on to first, and Schurer gets out of the jam. So despite Tommy Seidel getting to second with nobody gone, the Mariners can't push him across. It's still 1-0 Braves. We head to the home half of the 7th. Time to stretch here at Doran Park. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network.
Leading off the 7th for Bourne, the shortstop.
And we welcome you back.
John
It'll be
Peck.
8-9-1 for the Bourne Braves. John Peck made a really nice play in the top half of the inning to retire Vetrano. He's got a chance to lead off the inning against Jacob Edwards, who's back out there for his second inning. He does have the 2 strikeouts thus far, but his team's still trailing 1-0. Got to keep those rolling. First pitch to Peck catches the outside corner. Edwards went to UNC Asheville his first 4 years. Now he's transferring to Mercer. And the 0-1. That is going to just miss the outside corner. And just to take a look at the standings, the YD Red Sox still the only team to clinch in the East. But Brewster, with their 1 point, currently hurdle the Mariners with 37 points. Mariners sit with 36 right behind them. As this is going to be a base hit up the middle for John Peck. What a game he's had for himself here to start the 7th inning. But to keep going, Orleans with their win, they have 34 points.
North Carolina,
and Chatham,
Thomas.
who has a 6-run lead, assuming they win, will have 33. So seeds 2 through 5 will probably be separated by just about 4 points, which is 2 complete games. It is going to get really tight the rest of the way.
certainly is going to be very interesting. Going to come down to the final 2 days of the season, undoubtedly.
Tomas Frick is the batter. John Peck's over at first, picking up his first hit of the day. He also reached on an error. Tomas Frick had a big sacrifice bunt back in the 5th inning.
And just to keep talking about the standings for a minute here, I would say that Harwich is largely in the crosshairs right now when you talk about teams that are at risk of ultimately falling out of the playoffs, because they face off against Chatham twice in the final 3 days of the regular season. If it's within striking distance for the Anglers, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be playing probably some of their best baseball of the summer to try to find their way into the playoffs with potentially their fate still within their own hands. So you need to be able to get it out of reach for that final stretch if you're Harwich.
It's 2-1 count to the 9-hitter and Frick. Top of the order, due up. Bryce Eblin awaits on deck. 4 hits aside, the Mariners' 3 errors compared to the Braves' none have been the difference as the Braves have pushed across an unearned run. That's where we sit at 1-0 here in the late innings of the ball game. 2-1 pitch from Edwards. This is grounded over to second. Smith will go to second for 1. Harrison on to first in plenty of time. There's a nice 4-6-3 double play for the M's, and quickly 2 away.
Yeah, you needed that. You want to be able to bail out Edwards after allowing a leadoff single, and you
number
want
2
to be able
out
to
of
just
Alabama,
continue
Bryce
having him
Eblin.
go at an efficient clip. He was excellent in the 6th, and now you've got him right back at a good spot here in the 7th, where there's 2 gone for the top of the order.
Will be Bryce Eblin, but that Gateman-Whitecaps matchup, thank God it started at 4 o'clock because it lasted 3 hours and 39 minutes. That is a battle.
Yeah, that game would have been called in the 6th inning if it started at 5.
No kidding. It's a 1-0 count. Base is empty for Eblin. He's reached base twice, once by an error from Brock Wilkin in the 3rd. And he also walked in the 5th. Count is even at 1-1 as this one's going to hit the brick wall and almost bounce all the way into fair territory. On deck you have Mac Horvath. He's 0 for 3 on the day. The pitch. This is lifted off into the concourse area. And it will be a 1-2 count now from Edwards. Trying to get a makeshift 1-2-3 inning here. He's surrendered 2 hits already, but a pair of strikeouts in the 6th and a double play here in the 7th have helped him to keep runs off the scoreboard.
I mean, how many makeshift 1-2-3 innings have we seen tonight?
And I mean, you say that, but it's really something, not an exaggeration at all. I mean, you have to see all the base running mistakes for Harwich. It has just not been their night. When you compare it to last night, really disheartening. As this is into foul territory, coming in is Hameter, but it escapes over the fence out there in left field, and it'll be a 1-2 count once again. Eblin hitting .228 on the season. Searching for that first hit. It would be a great time for one right now. Choked up on the bat here with 2 strikes. The pitch. This is popped up into shallow left field. Going out is Harrison, and he makes the call and makes the catch. So, Jacob Edwards faces the minimal despite allowing a hit. Double play, 4-6-3 helps him out of the inning. Still 1-0 Braves. We head to the 8th inning now. Mariners coming back up to bat. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Top of the 8th inning, it'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for the M's. Kalai Harrison, Will Hamner, and Matt Gassetti. As Craig Schurer is back out there for his second complete inning of work. And a little news for you with Wareham's tie. Of course, we alluded to the fact that Bourne needed just 1 point to clinch a playoff berth here tonight. But if the last place team drops a point, that helps you as well. So the Bourne Braves are the 4th team in the Cape Cod Baseball League to clinch a spot in the 2022 postseason. So, the 3rd in the West as well. Just the Red Sox in the East have clinched. So congratulations to them. See if they can close out with a win here, as they're not even out of the discussion for the division yet.
Yeah, the West is close toward the top, whereas the East is closer toward the bottom. Going to be interesting to see how the race for the 1 seed shakes out over in the wild, wild West.
As Harrison chops one over to the shortstop, Peck has to make a quick throw, and it's in time to get Harrison. He's retired for the 2nd time today, 1 for 3.
Left fielder,
John Peck has been
Alabama,
sensational.
William
We cannot
Hamner.
overlook his defensive performance for the Bourne Braves. A big reason why they've been able to cling to this 1-run lead here late in the ball game.
Yeah, it's really just been impressive to watch this Bourne defense go to work. I mean, no errors on the night. It's been very clean from their infielders. They've been doing really fantastic work to back up their pitching all night long.
Sure, into his windup, and the first pitch to Hamner is grounded right back to him. He stops it, has to pick it up and make a throw, and it's on target. He takes a hit away from Will Hamner, and it's a 1-3 putout for a quick out number 2.
Catcher number 8 out of Alabama.
This is not the time you want to start to fall into a funk if you're Harwich. A far cry from last night's effort, in which the Mariners recorded a season-high 15 hits.
Fans will be announcing the winners of tonight's
Now
50-50
with just
raffle in
the
the middle
4
of the inning.
hits
So
and
if you bought tickets
no
tonight,
runs
please get
scored
them out at this time and have them ready for the middle of the
7
inning.
2/3 to this point.
See what Gassetti can do. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to 2nd, and also popped out to 2nd. He's loved the right side here. He's ahead in the count 1-0. It has been a tough go thus far. Harwich would love to find their way to a point here. They need just 1 run for the time being. They've gotten the pitching, but the defense and the bats have not been able to pull through for them. For the Mariners, they've had no hits since the 4th inning. So 5, 6, 7, and now 8 for the time being have been hitless for them. Had 1 hit in each of the first 4, but nothing doing since. It's a 3-0 count now to Matt Gassetti. And this one will miss up and away, so he's on with a 2-out walk. I would be interested to see if they use a pinch runner for Matt. Granted 2 outs, but you have Brian Arnn available to catch, so maybe you put in a speedy guy off the bench to run, maybe
Second
try and
baseman,
steal a
number 4
base
out of
and then just
UConn,
throw Arnn
David
behind the plate
Smith.
in the next inning. Looks like Mac will run for right now, though.
I mean, Cole Harding is an option for you, but yeah, you said it. Gassetti will run, so we'll see how this shakes out here for Harwich.
David Smith 0 for 1 on the day. He's walked and also flied out to right. Schurer comes set. And the first pitch. Smith drops down a bunt. Going over, it's a foot race. And he is out of the base path and tagged by Chris Brito. A really nice play by the first baseman there to get David Smith. And that's out number 3. So Matt Gassetti's 2-out walk does not do anything for the M's as they trail 1-0 with just 1 more time they get to come up to bat. We head to the home half.
Okay,
Still
fans,
got to
time
keep
to
the door
announce the
shut.
winners of tonight's
It's 1-0
50-50
Bourne.
raffle.
You're listening to the Harwich
Starting with
Mariners
two Canal
YouTube
Plus
Network.
tickets.
Sweet Caroline. Neil Diamond's hit from the 60s,
off the
taking
eighth,
us
Bourne, the
into
fielder,
the
number
home
21
half
out
of the
North
8th
Carolina,
here
Mac Horvath.
at Doran Park. Mac Horvath, Matt Shaw, and Evan Slight are due up for the Braves, the heart of their order. Jacob Edwards is back out there for his 3rd inning of work, and he is going to have to be shut down to give his team a chance here come the 9th. It's a first pitch strike to Mac Horvath, who on the day is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Edwards comes set once again, and the breaking ball looked like it might have been a strike, but it gets away from Gassetti, so it'll be ruled a ball. It's 1-1.
Yeah, umpires will tell you, if you want it to be a strike, you got to hold on. So, no chance there for a called strike if it pops out of the glove like that.
As this is lifted out to left field, Hamiter over to his right, and he'll put it away for out number 1. So, just took 3 pitches, but Edwards has got himself out number 1. He's been great. 26 pitches.
Maryland,
we'll call it 27 now through his first 2 1/3.
You always love to see this late in the season. It's always going to happen where you get guys who are going to be late additions to a team because they've been pitching in a lesser league. They've been not throwing as many innings. They're finally getting their chance on the Cape. They have to come in and eat up innings because everyone else who's been here all season is starting to get shut down. And Jacob Edwards has been doing a fantastic job coming in here, being able to sit guys down and be effective and efficient for Harwich.
He's behind 2-0 to the league leader in hits and average in Matt Shaw. Shaw on the season, his average is now .369. 2-0 pitch, misses. Looked to be below the letters even, but Shaw not the tallest, and he'll get the call in his favor, so it's 3-0. Edwards comes set, and that one will catch the inside corner, so Shaw will have to hang in there. Think about swinging it. It's 3-1. Edwards, the pitch. This is fouled off, and he's worked the count full now. Nice battle against the Maryland Terrapin. Shaw's struck out twice today to go along with his single in the first. And he'll fly another one foul off to the right into the construction area. Doran Park has got that wonderful tiered seating here where it's a bunch of levels of grass separated by stone. Everybody can bring their chairs and pick a level and have a great view of the ball game. But still working on that over here on the right side. Shaw throws one over to Vetrano, it goes off his glove and into right field. It would have been a tough play for Joe and also a difficult throw to make as Edwards was covering. It deflects off his glove, and they're going to rule a hit for Matt Shaw, his second of the day. He has 2 of the Bourne 5.
Yeah, I think he would have made it over safely. I think for Vetrano, the play there, just
Left
hang
fielder,
tight over at
number 27,
first
out of
base.
Rutgers,
That was going to
Evan
be picked up
Slight.
by Smith, especially considering for Vetrano, the reason why it was ruled a hit, Edwards, he was not winning that foot race to the bag over Matt Shaw. I mean, Edwards did not get nearly as good a jump over toward first, and Shaw just so fast, able to outpace him with ease.
First pitch to Slight, misses for a ball. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Does have a pair of strikeouts swinging, one from Edwards. He was the first batter that Edwards faced coming in for relief of Gage Zeal. See what Edwards can do. He's behind in the count 1-0. Shaw over at first. And the pitch. This is cut on and miss. Nice breaking ball in the inside corner. Makes it 1-1.
Yeah, you just want to battle back now here if you're Edwards. So Matt Shaw gets a single. The sky is blue. That's going to happen. You can still take care of business with the next 2 guys and try to limit the damage here and set your team up for just a 1-run rally.
It's grounded over to Vetrano. He's going to go to second for 1. Harrison can't get it over to Edwards because Edwards once again had not won the race to the bag, and so therefore you don't want to throw it and give Slight an extra base, so it'll be a fielder's choice for him. He's 0 for 4 on the day. That'll bring up Chris Burrito here with 2 away
First
in the 8th.
baseman, number 28,
Yeah, I
out of
think it's a
Rutgers,
smart decision to
Christopher
just hold
Brito.
on right there. Obviously, you want the double play to try and get out of the inning, but when it is a struggle for Edwards to be able to get over to the bag in time, and look, this is not to rag on the guy. Edwards, he's been doing a fine job here tonight, but 5'9", and again, he's not the quickest getting over to the bag. Doesn't have the greatest frame to help get him over there to try and outpace a guy in Evan Slight, and so sets up Bourne with a man on first still here, but Harwich now 2 outs in their favor here in the bottom of the 8th.
And looks like time has been called, and there's going to be a pinch runner for Evan Slight over at first base. And it's going to be Nelson Taylor pinch running for Evan Slight.
Attention, please. Pinch running for Slight, number 26, out of Polk State, Nelson Taylor.
You heard it, out of Polk State. So Bourne going to be aggressive here, as Edwards already to throw a pitch again. It's a 2-0 count now. Edwards has allowed 3 hits here tonight, but still no runs have crossed under his watch. Trying to keep that same fate to the 9th. 3-0 count now. He is behind Chris Burrito, who has 2 of the 5 Bourne hits. So him and Matt Shaw have combined for 4 of the 5 Braves hits. The only other one coming from the 8th spot in John Peck, who picked one up in the 7th. And 3-0. This is popped up. Green light for Burrito. A little surprising 3-0. Coming in is Hammer, a long run, but he's got the sky-high ball, and that will be out number 3. So we head to the 9th inning, and it's going to be Narco, the Edwin Diaz entrance for the Bourne Braves closer. When we come back, we'll introduce you to him. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Top of the 9th inning, the Mariners trail by 1, but they have the top of the order due up Ethan O'Donnell, Tommy Seidel, and Joe Vetrano, the 3 that we will definitely see here. And it's still going to be Craig Scherr back out there trying to close the game. He came in the 7th. He's looking for a 9-out save to give the Bourne Braves a victory. Ethan O'Donnell, first pitch is a breaking ball in there at the knees for strike 1. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a single. That came back in the 4th inning. He's also struck out looking and hit a deep fly out to center field that almost got out of the yard. That was all the way back at the beginning of the ball game.
Now, how different a ball game would this have been if Harwich was able to break it open offensively early on, get to Adams perhaps a bit sooner, but he settled right in from that point, and he went to 6 innings, and he set up Scherr really nicely to be able to go 3 complete now here if he can lock it down in the 9th.
It's been just 2 pitchers aside. Sure, trying to keep it that way. As a 1-2 count now to O'Donnell. Cotton candy skies here in Bourne, Massachusetts. Quick game. It's only been 2 hours and 12 minutes, but we're into the 9th. So still some light out, which is uncommon for those 6 o'clock plus starts here in the 9th. 1-2. Misses outside, so O'Donnell has worked it back even. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to number 2. As O'Donnell flares this one out to left field, it will fall for a base hit. He's going to round first and thought about second, trying the new left fielder in Nelson Taylor, but he won't. And so he's on with a leadoff single. Big piece of contact for O'Donnell.
You need that here. Get the leadoff guy on in. Put some pressure on Scherer and this Bourne dugout. Make them have to make a decision as to whether or not to keep Scherer in this game here for the Braves.
So back-to-back multi-hit games for O'Donnell. And just a little more on Scherer. He wasn't on the point streak site for the Braves, but his season stats, he has a 4.16 ERA for him across 4 1/3 and has 3 strikeouts. There could be a call to the bullpen right now. So I believe that will be the day. So we'll take a quick break, and now the Bourne closer will make his way to the mound when we return. Tommy Seidel set to face the new arm. It's still 1-0 Bourne, but Mariners have something brewing. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Ty Cummings, the all-star closer for the Bourne Braves, toes the rubber. He comes in without a decision but a .57 ERA in his now 9 appearances this season. He has 3 saves across 15 2/3. As there goes the runner in O'Donnell, he's going to be safe. O'Donnell stole the base. The ball gets into center field. He'll stay put, but a big steal for Ethan O'Donnell. And now the Mariners with a runner in scoring position. We saw Tommy Seidel square to bunt, didn't get it down. It was a ball, and O'Donnell able to swipe the base. That is huge.
Just find ways to continue to put pressure on this Bourne pitching staff here now in the 9th inning, and really excellent job done by O'Donnell and the Mariners in what's been otherwise an abysmal day in regards to base running decisions.
Corners are in. I mean, Chris Brito is halfway down the first base line playing defense, expecting the bunt. Ty Cummings also boasting a 15 strikeout to 5 walk ratio. So we'll see what he can do here. His whip hovering just over 1 as well. He is a true closer. 1-1. Caught on and missed by Seidel. The off-speed fell off the table, and it's now a 1-2 count from Cummings.
I mean, something about Campbell. They've really just been able to produce some excellent talent recently. Unsurprising to see Cummings come in and be able to find the success that he has out of that institution.
Native of Clayton, North Carolina, 6'3", 190 pounds. Seidel. Big spot for him. And he grounds this one over to the left. All-star versus all-star matchup. Cummings did not allow anything other than a hit in the all-star game. No strikeouts, no walks in his one inning of work. He pitched in the first game at Harwich on June 17th, went 3 complete innings, allowing just 1 walk, was credited for the save, and struck out 2 in 10 batters faced. Just 1 more than the minimum. He was great trying to get the same result here. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to Seidel. He chops it. This one takes a funky bounce and goes foul. Had that been fair, Seidel might have had himself one of the weirdest infield hits you've ever seen.
It's just a high chopper right at home plate that stayed high in the air long enough. Yeah, he certainly would have been down safe over to first had it stayed fair, but with that not being the case, he'll step back in now.
One ball and 2 strikes. Seidel on the day is 1 for 2. He singled, was caught stealing in the first. Then he reached on a fielder's choice and was caught stealing in the 4th. Then he walked and finally stole a base in the 7th. He's been on base a lot tonight, but you need him now more than ever. 1-2 offering. And Seidel goes over to shortstop. John Peck boots one. How about that? We've been speaking about how great John Peck has been on defense for the Bourne Braves and thought about it a little too much. Of course, you're worried about O'Donnell advancing down to 3rd, and he makes his 6th error of the season. And now there's runners on 1st and 2nd with nobody gone.
What a break here for your Harwich. You're setting yourself up nicely now for Joe Vitrano and Brock Wilkin. 2 guys you love to see come up to bat with 2 men on and nobody gone. We'll see what exactly Harwich is able to do for it here. I think the expectation at this point has to be that you're going to be able to come back and tie this game. We'll see if Harwich is able to follow through.
I'm not sure you're going to have Joe Vitrano drop down a bunt. As first pitch, he does not show, and it's a 1-0 count. Yeah, he's going to be swinging it. You got confidence in these guys, and we'll see if they can come through for you. You got a lot of speed on the base paths. O'Donnell at 2nd. He represents the tying run. Tommy Seidel representing the lead run. Next pitch to Vitrano. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. That is a tough called strike. And a 1-1 count now. Brock Wilkin awaits on deck, followed by Hunter Stokely. Mariners trail by 1 here in the top of the 9th from Bourne. The pitch. Vitrano right through it. A great pitch from Cummings that time, and he's ahead now 1-2.
Yeah, Cummings trying to go to work here against back-to-back power threats. He knows they're going to be swinging for the fences, and so he's trying to work around that. So far, so good for him here in the at-bat against Vitrano.
He does not work very quickly. Takes his time out there. Here comes the 1-2 to Vitrano, the ever-so-patient power hitter. And he swings and misses. Down goes Joe Vitrano. His 2nd strikeout of the day and the 1st for Ty Cummings. It's a big one. It leaves the runners at 1st and 2nd here.
Yeah, and it opens you up to a double play. Now, if you're Harwich defensively, you need the reigning MVP to be able to come in clutch for you here and deliver something into the outfield to help bring a run across and tie this game.
He's hitless today with 2 strikeouts. Also has grounded out to 2nd. Mariners have stranded just 3 in the ball game. 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Wilkin trying to finally cash in for a Mariner team that has been shut out to this point. It's first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike from Cummings. Wilkin taps the plate. Holds the bat over his right shoulder. Cummings comes set. And the pitch. Wilkin is fooled on that one. He foul tips it into the catcher's mitt. So now he's quickly in the hole. Gonna have to be careful and protect. It's 0-2.
Yeah, just a beautiful off-speed pitch to be able to catch the outside and get Wilkin to offer at it here. Big pitch coming up.
Slow clap emerging from the Doran Park faithful. The pitch from Cummings. There goes the runner. A double steal. It deflects off the glove of Cummings. Wilkin hustling over to first. The play is there in time. So he is retired. What a play by Ty Cummings. It looked like that could have been some serious trouble. The Mariners do get the runners over to second and third, but it will be with 2 outs.
Would have been a routine ground ball. Otherwise, it looked to Bryce Eblin as it was bounding its way over to him. Since the runners had gone early, it eliminated the opportunity for a double play if you're the Mariners. But even still, really clutch defense there from Ty Cummings. Puts himself in a bit of a bind by killing all the momentum that ball had, but he is able to get right after it and make a spinning throw onto first base to put himself in a spot where he can end this ball game with dealing with just Hunter Stokely here.
Here comes the first pitch as Stokely fouls off the first one. And we, mind you, if the John Peck error did not happen, that could have been the ball game. So we'll see how, or if that has any effect. Also, another interesting thing to note, Tomas Frick and Hunter Stokely, both Tar Heels. We'll see if Frick knows Stokely's kryptonite. So far to this point, Stokely's been 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. 0-1. Stokely fouls it off, and now he's down 0-2. So, here we go. Stokely comes in hitting .240 with a pair of homers and 16 RBI. He would love to find a home for this one. Both sides have 5 hits, but Bourne on the scoreboard has an unearned run. They lead at 1-0. Stokely is granted time here. Everybody on their feet in the Bourne and Harwich dugouts. Kalai Harrison awaits on deck should he get the opportunity to hit here. Cummings, a long look in. He comes set. Stokely awaits the pitch. Here it is. And that one, here comes the run to the plate. It bounces off the brick wall, and Ethan O'Donnell slides in safely. How about it? It almost caught Hunter Stokely and hit him, but it deflects off the glove of the catcher, and Frick all the way to the backstop. Ethan O'Donnell, despite the quick play to the plate, is in, and we have a tie ball game.
Really nice job by Harwich being able to just get the runners up. Of course, thanks to the efforts from Wilkin as he was able to move them along. And you finally are able to catch a break here. If you're the Mariners, you're able to bring a run across on a ball that gets away from Frick, who's otherwise been excellent here tonight. And so ultimately has forced at least a bottom of the 9th inning. Harwich is going to be looking for more here, though. They're still locked and loaded. They still have Tommy Seidel over on third base.
They were a pitch away from picking up 2 points, but it gets by the catcher. Another 1-2 to Stokely, misses up high. And we can officially close the book on Craig Schur. He goes 2 complete, allows 1 hit, an unearned run, as that one will be charged to him. Walks 2, strikes out 1. Cummings. 2-2 pitch. Misses down low, it's 3-2. So Stokely has come all the way back from being down in the count. 0-2. It's a full count now. Tommy Seidel 90 feet away from giving the Mariners the lead. Mind you, no extra innings, so if the Mariners cannot take it now, they will not have a chance for that second point here. 3-2. Stokely grounds it softly over to Brito at first. Took a weird bounce, almost got into right field, but Brito wins the race, and that retires the side. But a passed ball that gets by Tomas Frick allows Ethan O'Donnell to come in and tie the game at 1. Mariners trying to steal a point and keep second place alive and in their possession. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 9th. Edwards back to the hill. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Bourne, the right fielder, number 25, out of Virginia Tech, Carson Jones.
This is the only active game left in the CCBL as the Chatham Anglers defeated the Falmouth Commodores in just 2 hours and 16 minutes by a score of 6-0. Harwich trying to lock up a point. It'll be 6-7-8 due up for the Braves. Back out there for his 4th inning of work is Jacob Edwards. And first pitch to Carson Jones misses for a ball. Jones on the day is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ryan Enos awaits on deck. He'll be followed by John Peck. This is lined up the middle and into center field for a base hit to start off the bottom of the 9th here for the Braves. The only time that Harwich has been walked off on was here at Doran Park back on June 29th. And now the leading and winning run for that matter is on first in Carson Jones.
And not the history you want to have in a ballpark like this where you find yourself once again in that exact situation should a single run come across the score. So if you're Harwich, tread very lightly here. You've been in this situation before and you've come away on the bad end.
Eno showed Bonnie pulls it back, and for Edwards, this has now officially been his longest outing. It was prior 3 complete. He's now into 3+. Threw 38 pitches against Orleans back on July 22nd. As this is dropped down the third base line, Brock Wilkin can't get it. As now it's going to be first and second. It's a bunt single for Ryan Enos. Back-to-back hits have put the Mariners in quite the predicament here in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, things are getting hairy here for your Harwich, and it's just been played excellently by Bourne. That's about as perfect a bunt as you can lay down by Enos, as he left it completely unplayable for Wilkin. Just ate it completely.
So, John Peck, the guy who made the error that contributed to the unearned run in the top of the 9th, has a chance to redeem himself and win it here in the bottom of the 9th, and that will draw out Coach Englert for a mound visit. See if he makes a move here. Edwards into his longest outing. He has thrown a total of 45 pitches. That's officially his longest outing, and Englert standing out there on the mound does not seem to be in any hurry to make a move. A few nods that they exchange. But Tim, 2 unearned runs scored in the game. It's a 1-1 ball game. Now the Braves threatening. It has been quite the change in pace here in the 9th inning. Really slowed down a game that looked to be so quick, but it really looks like it's all going to collapse on Harwich if they don't act quickly.
Yeah, for as fun as a game like yesterday was, when you have an unbelievable outbreak of offense. It's these tight games that I think are just as enjoyable. It's been a fun day of baseball here all day long, as Harwich did a nice job being able to tie to the top of the ninth. Some dramatic stuff, and the drama has yet to conclude with Bourne threatening with a man in scoring position.
So Edwards remains out there. Joe Vetrano pinching in, anticipating the bunt, and it's dropped down. Edwards fields. He's going to go to first and get at least one in John Peck. So that brings up Tomas Frick. Peck does his job. It's a sacrifice bunt, and now there's runners on second and third with nobody gone for Tomas Frick. And we talked about how Peck made the error that extended the top of the ninth. Frick let a pass ball go by him that brought in the run to tie the ball game for the Mariners. Now he's got a chance to walk it off. First base is open, but would you rather face the 9-hitter, or would you rather load the bases for the top of the order? You be the judge.
And yes, it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. As I was about to say, I'm not sure Edwards sees another batter here. A single mistake from him at this point, and the ball game's over.
So Coach Engler will make the move. It's 1-1, but the Braves are so close to walking it off here. Second and third, one away, and a call to the bullpen. We'll introduce you to the new arm when we return. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Oh, man, let's go.
Welcome back, Devin Novak, Tim Foley, Joe Savino, the call to the bullpen, but before we go over his line, if we even get there, it's an interesting shift. Will Hamiter was tossed a glove from Nick Goodwin, and he joins the infield. He's the 5th infielder playing up the middle in anticipation of Frick grounding one softly to try and get the run home. Joe Savino, the right-hander out of Elon, delivers the breaking ball, and it's lined into left field for a base hit. The Bourne Braves have done it. They win this one in walk-off fashion. Tomas Frick, the hero tonight. It's a 2-1 victory for the Braves.
Well, you applaud the effort to go through the theatrics of giving a new glove to Will Hamiter, putting O'Donnell out in left center and Seidel out in right center, but ultimately, all it takes is a single pitch to Tomas Frick to be able to put the Braves out on top. Unfortunate break for Harwich, who otherwise had an excellent defensive game. The Bats fell asleep at the worst possible time. They left so many opportunities on the table across the first few innings of the ball game, and it comes back to bite them at the end of the day.
So we'll recap it all for you when we return. We're going to take a quick break, put some things in our scorebook, and be right back for the Harwich Mariners postgame show. Don't go anywhere.
And please drive home safely.
We'll see you in a minute. We welcome you into the Harwich Mariners postgame show. A heartbreaker here at Bourne Park as the Mariners have now lost all 3 of their contests against the Bourne Braves, who, talk about a night for them, just to start off, tip of the cap. They clinch a playoff spot and also win in walk-off fashion. A great night to be a Bourne fan heading into the off day, not even to mention that. The win goes to Ty Cummings. Jacob Edwards receives the loss after that run. The only earned run allowed in the ball game makes it a 2-1 victory for Bourne. But Tim, a lot to break down here. Not a lot of time. Anything you'd like to touch on to begin?
I think just what we alluded to before we even went into the break just then, the fact that Harwich left a lot of opportunity on the table across the first few innings of the ball game due to just poor base running. That's the kind of thing that ultimately is going to come back to bite you any day of the week whenever you are unable to execute on the base paths, leave runs on the board as you're unable to scratch any across up until the top of the 9th. Did a nice job tying it to bring it to the bottom half of the inning, but just for Bourne to be able to come right back and walk it off on you for the 2nd straight game here between these 2 teams at Bourne Park. An unfortunate night for Harwich, but certainly more than they could have done here tonight.
Yeah, they made the 3 errors as well. That hurt, including a 2-error inning that came back in the 5th. Back-to-back errors from Kalai Harrison and David Smith, which allowed Ryan Enos to score unanswered. And then maybe we have a whole new ball game. Who knows? But for that time being, it was difficult, and they dropped this one eventually 2-1. So what's that mean in the standings? Harwich drops back into 3rd place. Brewster has a point on them at 37. Of course, as you alluded to, a big game coming up July 30th, that Saturday, at Stony Brook Field. They also have the Bourne Braves coming back to White House on the 29th, the day before. That will be their 2nd to last matchup against a Western Division opponent. But a tough one here. It snaps their season-high 4-game win streak. And just when it seemed like they had all the momentum, it's thrown out the window. So, Tim, heading into these last 5 games of the season, with every point being so critical, what do they need to do to make sure they can solidify a playoff spot?
Just win, baby. Find ways to make it happen night in and night out. It's not your night. I think you still need to be content with the direction you're heading in as a ball club. You just won 4 straight games. The name of the game right now is still to just stay out of the basement. Yes, this loss is going to hurt you, but you take the off day, recuperate, refocus, and just dial it back in for the remaining 5-game stretch. It's going to go quickly, those last 5 games, as has this entire season, so you need to be able to find a way to just live each night as its own night, find each moment, and take it at bat to at bat as you head down the stretch.
As mentioned, an off day tomorrow, a time to relax, recuperate before we head back to it Friday. How about this scene? Jared Soltolomakia is doing the dirt on the infield on the tractor. Nice to see him pulling his weight here in the Cape League. Everybody has to do something. But we'll wrap up here. Once again, the final box score, the Braves score 2 runs on 8 hits and have 1 error. The Mariners score 1 run on 5 hits with 3 errors. The win goes to Cummings, the loss to Edwards, and that will just about wrap things up here from Doran Park in our last visit. Mariners are walked off on, and we'll send you into the off day. As for our media team, my partner Tim Foley and myself, Devin Dobeck, thank you for joining us on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network, and always remember to live the dream.